Hello everyone! Do you like dogs? I love dogs. They're awesome, cuddly, and loyal friends that can improve anyone's life. But they do also take after their owners, and bad things can happen if they are put into the hands of the wrong person. This movie tackles that topic and much more. I am Torstein from CinemaTerror, and this is White Dog from 1982. Julie Sawyer is a young aspiring actress, trying her best to make it in Hollywood. One evening on her way home, she accidentally hits a white German Shepherd with her car. Julie brings the dog to an animal hospital for help, and thankfully they let her know that the dog will only need some rest and care to be okay. They are unable to find the owner though, and to avoid the dog going to the pound, Julie decides to take him home so he can heal in peace. Julie continues to unsuccessfully look for the owners, while she keeps growing closer to the dog every single day. Their bond gets stronger when the dog saves Julie from a home invasion and potential sexual assault, and since no one has yet to contact her to claim the dog, Julie makes the choice of letting the good boy stay and live with her. Things are going well until the goodest of boys suddenly shows that he's not only a white dog, but a white power dog, if you will, as he out of nowhere attacks a black co-worker of Julie while they are on a film set. She learns what the term attack dog means, and instead of giving up on the canine, she reaches out to an animal trainer in the industry named Keys to get help. He lets her know that the dog is not only trained to attack, but specifically trained to attack people of color. Even though the dog, now appropriately named Mr. Hyde, has been violently brainwashed from his puppy days, Keys accepts the presumably impossible task of reconditioning the dog. But will he be able to teach this old dog new tricks? Can he free a dog from racist thoughts taught by humans? And how does that kind of mind altering affect the rest of his thought process? Keys and Julie will soon find out, as one night before the readjustment is done, Mr. Hyde is able to escape and roam wild in the streets. White Dog has quite a unique concept, dealing with the for some reason touchy subject of racism by displaying that it can even corrupt the mind of man's best friend seems like a brilliant idea for a film to me. But that's not how people received it when it was first going to be released by Paramount Pictures back in 1982. White Dog was able to gain controversy even before it had its first theatrical screening, as people, who had most likely not seen the final cut, including the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP for short, accused it of promoting racism, making the studio afraid of giving it a normal theatrical run. Paramount pretty much just buried the film, and it largely went unseen in America until Criterion released it on DVD back in 2008. Now you might be thinking, the movie is about a dog who gets taught racism by bad people, and then good guys try to save it by any means possible, instead of giving up on hope by putting it down for good. How could this be so controversial? I'm just gonna guess that people feared it would have lots of scenes with the dog attacking black people, giving white racists the idea of training their own dogs to do the same. But by watching the actual movie, it is easy to see that it does not go for that. I think it would be hard to make the argument that White Dog is a movie made for racists, but I want to be fair and also point out that nothing lives in a vacuum. The political state of things at the time does play a part, and it would honestly not be that surprising if someone thought it would be a good idea to make a violent racist dog movie, as 1982 was a time when the exploitation genre still had some life in it.
So let's say somebody trained him to be an attack dog. Let's just say that. There's gotta be a place where they retrain these dogs, and I'll find that place, that's all!
Julie, now you listen to me.
Paramount had originally envisioned White Dog to be Jaws with paws, so I can understand their hesitation or maybe disappointment when they saw the final cut. But to keep it nearly unreleased because of the controversy it has garnered seemed a bit cowardly to me. They should have been fully aware of what they were producing, and they knew that director and co-screenwriter Samuel Fuller does not shy away from social commentary and racial issues in his work. And I think that by giving it a normal theatrical release would prove to people that White Dog is far from a racist movie, but rather in fact an honest look at racism within our society and how hurtful and corrupting it can be. By hiding it away, it feels to me like they were ashamed of it, and that's a worse look in my opinion. So controversy aside, did we all miss out by Paramount burying White Dog? Well, yeah, I'd say so. White Dog is a fascinating film with a strong script and a talented, experienced director at helm. I do like some of the story structure in that we first spend time with Julie and the dog, then she finds out that something is wrong with him, which prompts the second part where the dog goes through the adjustment training. The character of Julie, portrayed by Kristy McNichol, is written purposely naive, if you will. To her, all of this racist evil is so foreign that she has to be explained everything, which also serves as a way to give exposition to the audience. We learn that the concept of a white dog is not new, but something that can be traced back all the way to the slavery days in America, when slave owners trained their dogs to track down and catch fleeing slaves. Once the animal trainer Keys is introduced, he kinda takes over the story from Julie and becomes the central character. And unlike Julie, Keys has lived with and seen racism all of his life. He has made it a life goal of his to be able to cure a white dog from its taught racism, and he is willing to put his own body in the line to achieve success. This is sold extremely well by actor Paul Winfield, who pretty much steals the show from then on out. Some say that White Dog might have been made ahead of its time, but I do wonder if perhaps it was made too late. The film has a 70s made-for-TV feel to it, and I think it would have had a better chance of an actual theatrical release during the more wild 1970s. I do wonder what a White Dog remake would look like today, although I have my doubts that there would ever be any interest in making that happen. White Dog is the only movie I've seen from the mentioned filmmaker Samuel Fuller, and reading up on him for this video makes me want to check out more of his work, as he seems like quite the interesting character. Fuller became a crime reporter at the young age of only 17, and he would also be joining the US Army during World War II, an experience he would later make a movie based around called The Big Red One, released in 1980. He has been accused of making anti-American movies, even at one point becoming the target of an FBI investigation due to what was believed to be a pro-communism movie with his 1950 North Korean war film Steel Helmet. He also pissed off the French government with his 1957 war film Chinagate, which is kind of funny, as France would turn out to be the country Fuller would spend the rest of his life after he left Hollywood and the United States behind him, due to how White Dog was handled by Paramount Pictures. So yeah, Fuller seemed like a fun fellow that enjoys tackling controversial subjects in his films. And judging by White Dog, he also knows how to tell a story. There are some smart, smaller details popping up every now and then, and while I do have a perfect example of just how a quick little shot of his can send shivers down your spine, I do not want to spoil too much. You know it if you've seen it, as you probably went, "Oh no," when you saw it. I will say that perhaps the lesser aspect of Fuller's work on White Dog is that his style can feel a bit dated, even for its time. He was 70 years old when White Dog was released, so you can't be all that surprised that it feels old school, but the overly dramatic way some of the scenes are constructed will be off-putting to some. Again, it feels like a 70s made-for-TV movie, and that seems to be the idea that the legend Ennio Morricone went for with his musical score as well. White Dog was a movie that fell mostly into obscurity after its initial controversy died down. Misunderstood at the time, and perhaps even today, as it still seems to be labeled as a horror movie in some places, White Dog was an outlet for Samuel Fuller to let the world know how he feels about racism, and he takes advantage of one of Earth's loveliest creatures to do so. If you like movies from filmmakers that have something to say, or just enjoy movies from the 70s and early 80s, then White Dog is a good one to check out. I just wish it wasn't so over-the-top dramatic. White Dog is worth seeking out, and I'm giving it a strong score of 3.5 out of 5. Have you seen White Dog, or any of Sam Fuller's other movies? How do you feel about them, and where should the curious start if they want to explore more of his filmography? Let me and others know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, then please do leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'm not exactly big here on YouTube, so every single positive feedback you guys give me does get noticed. Have a great day out there in the world, and I hope to see you again soon for more videos on all kinds of interesting movies from the past and present, here on CinemaTerror. Thank you!